blog, or you can write blog for other companies. Then proposal writing, that is a very technical form of writing that requires another specialized skills. Then these days, like handling social media, how do we post in Facebook, Twitter, or email writing, those have become very significant. So I would expose you to a range of these forms, and we will focus on some of the major ones that is expected from you, and that we can do in the 4 days, because we cannot do all forms of writing in very detail in the 4 days. So that's why the last two objectives is more like focused on your priority, like writing proposals, as some of you were mentioning, and more importantly, concept note these days, because proposal is more full-fledged and concept note is more concise summary. So people are looking for concise summary, like you have to be able to express your business ideas or your sales related concept in 1 or 2 pages. So how do you do that? How do you write that very accurately? Because people do not have, more amount of time to look into your mm, extended proposals. So they look for concept notes in the beginning. They also call expression of interest. So
So,
and
sir,
only after
sir,
that, yes.
sir, sorry to interrupt you. We are having a lot of messages in our chat box regarding their expectation.
Okay, I shall check that. So right now I have um put my screen in full mode. So I'll
Sir,
check that because
I'll can I assist you? I can read some of them, so it will be
yeah, we
easier
can.
that.
Yeah, we can do that even by the end of today, because from tomorrow our real session starts. So, what sort of things are coming? If you can summarize, that would be nice. Like very briefly, what are the key ideas coming up? If you
Yeah.
will be able to share with me at the end of today's session, also that would be fine. I'll give you some minutes and you can do that. Would that be fine?
Yeah, sure, sir. We'll discuss about this at the end of this session.
Yeah. We can
Yeah, sure.
incorporate that as far as possible from tomorrow onwards as well.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Because tomorrow onwards we'll basically dive into the real content matter. Today I'm just orienting what the course is about. Yes.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay. So as I was referring to the importance of concept note these days, you might have also noticed people are looking for a very shorter but very concise version of your ideas. So for that, we need to understand how to draft concept notes before even submitting a full proposal. So we'll try to touch on concept note as well and focus more on proposal writing. Then next is, as I was repeatedly like focusing on this, I would also like to help you as far as possible. You have so many people, diverse range of learners from diverse academic disciplines, but my sort of working is like, as I mentioned myself, I'm more passionate about grooming young minds, particularly in the writing and academic sector. So I would like to work with you close in person, even beyond the training, and help you improve your writing product. That could be blog, or if you are really looking to write articles for media, or if you are really looking to start your own blog. So I would try to go on a more individual feedback and guidance form as far as possible, but that depends on your intention to learn and the effort that you make. So in that sense, I have also planned my objective as helping you to develop your specific writing needs, to cater your writing needs and give you guided feedback. So that would be in the form of email, even beyond the training. As I said, these 4 days may not be sufficient, but I can. You can just send me your writing samples, then I can give you feedback in an email. In that way, you can develop your writing skills. Maybe some of you are interested in writing article for media also. So how we can submit, what sort of articles that we can embark on for writing for media, or like blogging has become very popular these days among youngsters. So you might be thinking of starting your own blog, or even everyday day-to-day social media handling. So I would like to help you on that. So the basic organization plan for 4 days. Today we are in the first day and we are conducting our introduction and training orientation basically. So tomorrow we'll try to delve deeper into the more content matter, more theoretical foundations of content writing. What exactly constitutes good content? What are the basic principles that we need to follow for any sort of content writing, and how does content writing stand out from other forms of writing? What are its key qualities that would be dealt tomorrow? And then third day, I think blogging is one of the most popular. You might be interested. That is why I have put this here. So this might be changed or adjusted based on your like feedback or your learning expectations, which uh, um, I would be knowing after a while by the end of the training. So, but for now, I have kept blogging or media writing also we can incorporate. So what you really want, based on that, I will tailor this. So we'll go into process. How do we craft a good blog? What are the stages involved in writing? And then writing for social media, as I said, how to post professional social media content. What value does it have? Like we have been using social media, but whether we are using it in a proper way or not, or whether that matters itself or not, what we post in social media. So also in social media, email writing will also be included. That is one of the very important you need to engage, even being a part of this hall prize. So how do you professionally communicate in email? What is the uh, basic idea of writing professional emails? We'll deal with that on day third. And the final day will be more focused on proposals, since you are more interested in business proposals as far as I reckon. So I'll try to focus on business proposal ideas and concept notes, as I is the like very preliminary stage before drafting a full proposal. So I'll try to touch into these concept notes and business proposals, and then we'll do some quick revisions and feedbacks and some critical reflection of the training also uh, by day 4.
Excuse me, sir.
Is that fine? Yes.
Yes, sir. यो हाम्रो स्क्रिनमा कसैले ओभरराइड गरेको छ हजुरले एकचोटि स्क्रिन सेयर स्टप गरेर फेरि सेयर गर्नु न
Okay. So I have stopped share. Now I can share once again.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now it's the time like where one of you will let me know what kind of training expectations are coming. Have you summed up? I'll give you time now if you can do that for me.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay. So can you very briefly like what are the key expectations coming up?
Uh, they're expecting how can we write effective proposal for our sponsor or any business organization,
Yeah,
and
that has already come. Proposal writing. Yes.
and so they want to know how can we improve our learning skills and technique for quality content and proposal writing.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I'm unable to read the chat. I get it. And so I'm unable to, when you are not sharing your screen, I'm unable to read the comment. Wait, there is. Ah, mm,
So you're not being able to read the comments.
yeah.
Is it
Now I
because
am
of?
able. No, sir. Now I am able to read that out.
Okay.
Someone wants to know about how ideas regarding effective proposal writing and blogging tips.
Yeah, blogging also has come. Yes, I
Yeah,
have also shared that. Yes, I'll be delving into blogging as well to some extent.
and some expectation are what are the factors that should be considered while writing a proposal.
Hmm.
And uh, how can we learn new How can we learn new skills and techniques for quality content and proposal writing? There are their
Mhm.
expectations and uh,
So
what
more
techniques and
repeat.
tactics? Yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
techniques and yeah, sorry.
yeah, yeah. The priority is more on proposal, and blogging has also come.
Yeah, yeah, there are some expectation regarding the tactics and techniques which are used for content and proposal writing as well as and yeah, so factors considered when writing a proposal for sponsor and supports.
Mhm.
Someone has uh, asked that this proposal writing research based or content based. So someone has asked that key is this proposal writing research based or content based?
Well, I think the question itself, what the person is trying to ask. Well, content writing, proposal writing is one of the form of content writing, and when we say proposal, it will be more inclined towards research. Definitely, that is a technical writing we call proposal writing. So content writing has several forms, and if we see content writing as an umbrella term, then proposal writing will be one component under content writing. But in proposal writing, we will focus more on like the research skills. We need to have that skill to write proposal.
Yes, some other expectations are someone how can we develop an attractive research proposal and how can student approach concerned authorities for funding their research? So
Okay.
so so that's also remainings
Okay.
are
Thank
a
you.
bit similar.
Yeah, more or
So
less similar. I can sense what you are expecting.
yeah, so,
More or less, like what we need to be clear is like proposal writing. There are various forms of proposal writing. One is academic proposals that we write for submission of our undergraduate or master's thesis report. So that is more academic proposal. So when we talk about business proposals, we are trying to sell our ideas, and then as you said, we're trying to approach the sponsor organization and get funded and then start our work. So we'll, I think, focus more on grant seeking writing type of proposal, that is business proposal. There are again cross-cutting elements. As I mentioned, research is a very cross-cutting issue. So we need to have the knack of research. We need to understand research. We need to be able to dig into the process of research when we are talking about proposals, because proposals cannot be developed in a very isolation. So we need to do research. And again, research is more here desk study. Research in terms of desk study. Research does not always involve stepping out of a room and physically moving around and getting data. That is not only research. That is one part of research. But for proposal, we'll focus more on desk study. We need to have a very in-depth study of already done research, proposal ideas. We need to find out what sort of organizations will be interested to fund our ideas. So that sort of thing is more research. Okay, anyways, I'm really happy to know your range of expectations. So on the screen now, we'll just move ahead. Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir, it
Okay.
is
Yes, sir.
visible.
So so now let's go into a brief discussion. Okay. I have some discussion questions before we move forward. So I would like you to reflect on these questions for some minutes and then share. It's not necessary that all of you have to share, but some of you will have to share uh, the pre-understood ideas on this issue. Okay, one is content. When we hear the word content, what comes in your mind? What is content actually for you? Maybe a word or a phrase that would be fine. I don't need a very long sentence. Then another, proposal. What is the understanding of the word proposal? Next is like, I think this question also relates to one question that popped up in the chat, and one of you were asking me, like, do all forms of content writing follow the same format? Like proposal writing is content writing or not? Media article, blog piece, social media, these are all forms of writing. So do you think all of these content writing follow the same format, or are they different? Okay, so the next supplementary question is, what could be common characteristics among these forms of content? Like what makes a good content? That is the question. What makes a good content? Whether we talk about a blog article or media article or social media writing, what makes it a good content, irrespective of the forms of writing? So can you please think for 5-7 minutes on these questions, and then we'll discuss. Okay. Please
Yeah,
think for
sure,
a
sir.
while, and then you can also share your um, answers in chat. Some of you can just unmute yourself and then share your ideas. I think it would be more proactive if you just unmute and share very briefly. Okay, so what do you understand by the word content, proposal? And the next two questions are more related to whether content writing is all similar, or what do you think for now? Because this is a brainstorming activity. Okay. So take few minutes and then we'll resume.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, can I volunteer?
Hello.
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 Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Uh, Please, can I make a suggestion?
Sure. Sure.
Mine, what the proposal is. It means a plan or suggestion, especially written in a formal form.
Sorry, I can't hear you
Is it?
properly.
Okay. Please, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I think
Can you introduce yourself, please?
okay. I'm a Manuel.
Mm-hmm.
The campus director for Chanzo University,
Okay.
offering international trade and economy.
Mm-hmm.
I think a proposal is a plan or suggestion, especially like a formal or a written one that's put forward for consideration by other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my little
Yeah.
submission about what a proposal is.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That's rightly pointed out. Proposal is basically a plan or suggestion, for potential organization or audience. Yeah. So, other understanding. What do you understand by the term content?
Um, content actually means um, the things that let's take for example when writing a proposal, um, the
Mhm.
things to consider is actually referred to content. That's what I understand by it.
Okay,
What
thank
goes
you.
into the proposal, that's referred to our content.
Yeah, what goes into the proposal? What are the elements that are incorporated in a proposal? Okay, thank you. Other friends, please feel free to share. Like, what is content for you? What is content? What is proposal?
Somebody raise the hand and they can unmute and speak up, I
Yeah, yeah,
think.
sure. One of you, if you could coordinate this exercise, that would be brilliant.
I see. I think Manila raised the hand, right? And before.
Yeah, okay, Manila. Hello.
Sir, can I?
Yeah, sure.
For me, the term content is the idea or the issue, and for me, the proposal, it is the planning or the plan that we do beforehand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So something that we do prior or beforehand, uh, and the next is yet to come. Okay, so proposal, plan. That's a very synonymous word with content, issue. Okay, fine. Next, what are the two other questions like have you contemplated other participants on the last two questions as well? What do you think like content the same format fits for all type of content writing? Do you think like that, or there might be some differences or even similarities? Because the next question is asking about the characteristics of a good content. So if you would also be willing to discuss on the last two questions, that would be very nice. Yeah, go ahead, please. Please feel free
Uh,
to share. This is a very important discussion section, and we all need to develop being a good discussant, because online trainings without discussions will be very repetitive, boring, and even the trainer would not really know how whether the participants are learning or not. So before we really go into the core content, I would like to test your prior knowledge. That's the idea of this discussion section. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think all forms, while writing media article, blog pieces, social media writing, I don't think like it will contain, in your a particular content. It will be
Hmm.
different kind of writing forms. And talking
Okay.
about could there be any common characteristics among these forms of content? Yeah, there are common characteristics such as the content must be relevant while writing, relevant to the topic of writing that content. And yeah, it must obviously include resourceful contents and quality delivery.
Yeah.
In that way, it can be common, but forms are obviously it must have been different.
Yes, that's a very brilliant discussion point. Like quality of a good content relevance. Every content should have, a contemporary appeal that should be suitable to the need of a particular sector or could be an audience. So whether it be media writing or blog writing, so that sort of relevance that should be there. And again, preciseness. If I would add one more, all content no matter what they are. They should be very precise to the audience, because all sort of writings are not for all type of audience. We need to understand. So if we are writing a media article in on education, for example, so maybe students, teachers, or other educational stakeholders would be interested. That should be our thinking uh, at a more theoretical level. Okay, so we are not writing a media article for everybody, and everyone will not read the media op-ed. Even if we like reflect ourselves, we would not do that. Yes, do we read media articles every day, or what sort of article we read? Any sort of article that appeals to us, maybe to our intellect, to our emotion. So that should be there. So in that sense, those common characteristics are rightly pointed out. And yes, differences do exist, because the form of writing is different. In media, we are writing for a certain publication. So blog is like if we are starting on our own, so it's for more like we have no censorship. For blog, for example, we can write whatever we want in our blog, but we need to understand who, for whom we are writing. We need to keep that in mind. But in terms of censorship, there's no censorship as such. So yeah, that sort of uh, differences in terms of writing format. And social media is different. We won't write a very long article for social media. Yes. Okay. Other ideas, please. Like the term has still not been comprehensively defined. Do you have other ideas on what a content is? Hello.
For me, the content, the characteristics must be, content should be the can grab the attentions of the people. So this must be there, and adding what Angela said there.
Yes. So grabbing attention is like characteristics of a good content. What exactly constitute a content? When we say a content, what is it? Is it an only an idea? Some of you were referring to an idea. Any other thoughts on content? What a content is?
So, so I think content is an art,
Hmm.
and it takes creativity to create a very good content.
Yes, creativity is again the standing pillar of a good content. So content itself, it could be a piece of information. Okay, what is content actually? It's an information. Like suppose you would like to write something on the quality of a certain product. Let's say a cosmetic product, certain cosmetic product. So what is the content for a cosmetic product? So what we are writing there, we are writing what are the basic ingredients of the cosmetic product. So what are the expected customers or target audience for the product? So that is more one part of content is information. So it's a piece of information. Yes. So we are trying to express in written form, basically. And we have a specialized audience. So piece of writing, more informative piece of writing in some higher level called catering to knowledge. So more informative pieces. When we say like we give information, very basic information of a cosmetic product, then that is a piece of information. Content there means a piece of information, and that is targeted for a specialized audience. So every content has a piece of information, and that is targeted for a specific audience. Not all would be interested in that content. So content basically involves a piece of information. But as I said, some content are knowledgeable also. So there's a difference between information and knowledge. Information, just we gather the key ideas of a certain product. For example, in case of the cosmetic product, so that would be information. Knowledge is like we also might want to write an article of the emerging trends in the cosmetic industry, for example. So in that case, we also have to dig into the knowledge, like how did the cosmetic products evolve, what are the trends and patterns emerging. So if we engage in those sort of exercise and produce a writing, then that becomes a piece of knowledge as well. So information and knowledge could be blended in some content. Starting with a very basic level of content would be more information loaded, but we can also go to higher level like knowledgeable content. So in that case, like media article could be more knowledgeable, blog piece could be more informative. Okay, so piece of information or knowledge, or combination of both, and that has a purpose for a specialized audience. So that would be content. And so we need to understand that content has a very specific audience as well. Okay, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think these four questions more or less we have very basic understanding for now. Like proposal is a plan or scheme or the ways of conducting a particular action, could be uh, a course to be pursued. So that is a proposal. So it's a tentative plan. So what we need to understand is proposal that could be accepted or rejected. That's why that's a proposal. So if we use that term in everyday meaning, so it's the same meaning. When we talk about a marriage proposal, so there are chances of the proposal being accepted or rejected. So that's the same with the business proposal or academic proposal. Even your academic proposal, there are chances of being accepted or rejected. So that's the same with the business proposal. So proposal is a tentative plan that could be accepted or rejected. So that's the proposal.
Kushal sir, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hear you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So due to net issue, I got disconnected briefly. Where were we? Can anyone remind me where were we? From where did we start?
Sir, we were in business proposal.
Sorry?
Business proposal.
So we were talking about the marriage proposal could be reject or could be accepted, and similarly with
Yeah.
the
Okay.
business proposal.
Okay, thank you. So what I was trying to say is like the basic meaning of proposal is same. Every word we need to understand the word in a wider context in one sense and narrowly defined in other sense. So both way we need to understand. So when we say content proposal, we do not directly need to think of research as first. First, let's say in ordinary parlance or common day to day uh, you know expressions, what does that mean? So meaning is same. Yes. So proposal, there's a certain plan. Even in marriage, you have a certain plan of getting married, let's say, for example, and there are chances of being accepted or rejected. So in that sense, there's a component of plan, exception, and rejection. So proposal, the key elements of proposal is resembles with the idea of marriage, or could be a filmmaking proposal, or could be a proposal by a son or daughter to his parents of starting something new or pursuing some new academic degree. Could be anything, yes. So we need to relate these ideas. I think this lesson we need to apply in every field of study. In every Even in every subjects, we have some core concepts that we learn, even in management or engineering. So the basic idea remains the same. So we need to contextualize those ideas in the wider setting as well, and sometimes we need to understand it more specifically. So that way also we need to understand. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any final thoughts on this? Any final thoughts on this discussion, questions from anyone?
So there are
Yes.
some answers in our chat box. So let me
Yeah, yeah.
speak it.
Can you
Mm,
summarize any new type of ideas, answers are popping up? If
yeah,
any,
yeah, sir,
please
yeah,
please do that.
yeah. For good content should have information, entertain to other and storytelling. And another
Yeah,
answer is content is
storytelling, very
snaps.
very
Yeah,
interesting idea, storytelling. Okay.
yeah. And another answer is content is a snapshot of what is to follow.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's all, sir. There are dismissed.
Okay, story writing, that is one thing like I find it really interesting. Like if you can build a story, because we need to have a unique content, because everyone writes article for the same topic. For example, let's say blog. If we want to start a blog, let's say food blog or a travel blog, yes. So everyone, many people might have written on the same issue. Stands out is the way or the presentation or the way you present your blog. Though blog is an informative piece basically, but how do you present? So what newness you bring? So one could be the newness in terms of one could be the newness in terms of storytelling your story. So for example, and find any interesting and you wanted to try that out for a food blog, for example, if you are writing about a blog on an informative piece for how to cook something. Yeah. So that way, we can also embed storytelling in our writing, and that will be very unique. Are you guys listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next slide, the screen will stop. Can you share the new slide there? Hello.
Yeah, we
Yes,
can
sir.
see
We can't
anything.
see.
Okay, I think I
Sir,
We
we
need
can
to
can't
see.
see.
again redo the share.
Sharing
Okay,
is the basic question.
I'll do that once again. I'll reshare.
Okay.
So basically, now I'm trying to little bit embark on one slide on what a content writing is, and we'll just talk. We'll left over there, and from tomorrow we'll leave over there, and from tomorrow we'll continue from there. So I'll share one slide with you on the basics of content writing. Hope this would be useful. Okay, is it visible? Is
Yes,
it
sir.
visible now?
It is.
Okay.
Yes, it is beautiful.
Okay, thank you. So whatever discussion we did, I think these are similar ideas that have come in my slide as well. This is just like for uh, making it more guided in this. So content is a focused writing. When we talk about content writing, it is very focused. Focused in a sense that we have a specific audience. If we are writing a blog on ingredients of making a good pizza or momo, then who are our readers or audience? Yes, definitely the momo or the pizza lovers. So a non-foodie would not be interested, in writing a blog, no matter how impeccable writing is that. So that is the principle or the conceptual element. So that is a very focused writing. Again, if we are writing about health issue, let's say, then could be more appealing to the health-related professionals or health stakeholders. There might be exceptions, but generally, we have a very focused audience, and our writing also should be very focused, and we have a purpose. Okay, whether we are trying to sell or promote our ideas, or we are just trying to express ourselves. For example, in some cases we may not need to promote or sell our ideas. We're just trying to write ourselves, our expressions. We are just trying to vent out, maybe a kind of diary, that what we did from morning to evening, and we want to write that out, and we also want to share that with our friends. So that is also like, writing is also a journey of, self reflection and venting out your maybe anger, sometimes even frustrations, also, and in a more positive note, like your joyful experiences, all that. So that could be a different purpose in various forms of writing, but that is very specific purpose. You have only one purpose, and it is focused. So next is like, it is more broad, as I have been repeatedly saying. It is a very encompassing and pervasive term, content writing. So in that sense, we can just put the proposal writing also under a content writing in one sense. We might, in the next context, we might again proposal writing would be an umbrella term, and there are again various forms of writing under it. Terms of content, the unique type understand that way. Again, that is again that stands out from other forms, because that is more structured, that is more research oriented. Okay, in that sense, proposal writing stands out, but the umbrella term for that would be content writing as well. So even we have like advertisement related copywriting, that is also content writing. Media article, as I said, blog post or social media post. So many things can be embedded in content writing. So in that sense, it is a broad concept. But there are some common skills, that writing demands. Critical reading. This is more based on my own experience, and since I have also been conducting this training through other online platforms, so based on participants' feedback as well and their reflection of the training, so we need to be a voracious reader to write. We need to be very clear on this. Whether we write a very simple, simplistic type of note, or we delve into more, in-depth form of writing, but reading is a must. And while reading also, we need to be very critical, not just reading what is there inside the text, trying to understand the gaps, or at a more nuanced level. We also try to figure out whether the writing could have been better written in another way. So that sort of critical, emphasis on reading would help us to be a good writer. So we need to have develop this skill. Again, this is not easy. It's easier said than done. It's not a very easy skill. We need to continuously engage in reading, and then we'll become a critical reader. It's not easy, as I said. And analysis, trying to understand two sides of the coin, very basically, or beyond the text. Let's say, suppose you have read a certain content. So what is the difference between understanding and analysis? Understanding is you understood what the content is trying to say, what is the message that you clearly understood. That is understanding. But analysis is, are you really convinced? Do you think the writer has, very perfectly articulated the message, or are there any confusions, contradictions, or mistakes that you need to figure out? Analysis helps us to reflect, our own everyday life experiences, how it could have been better, for example, what better we could do even in future past. So these sort of reflections will also be very important, not only for our professional life, but also for personal life. So we'll also develop these skills very consciously. Reflective skill will also grow if we engage in content writing. So having said that, there are so many opportunities now. If you're at a more professional level, if you have a very good knack for writing, as I said, more freelance type of jobs are also emanating. So you can apply based on. There's no like geographical boundaries. If you are really a good writer and if you can really bid good proposals and article writing, rewriting, there's so many tasks that you can take upon if you are really interested. Okay, so I would like to wrap up the core content session today. So I would like to hear some of your quick learning reflections as we go ahead. From tomorrow, we'll go into more detail of the content writing. Okay, so can you please share your learning, some of your learnings, or some of your questions related to this session, and then we'll wrap up. Let's take 10-15 minutes for that. Thank you.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
um, once again, I'm facing one more often international trade and economy at Chanzo University. Um, Today's lesson has been a very, very wonderful time with you. What I learned so far is um, every proposal has its form of writing, and we have
Yeah,
the different types of proposal. You can take into consideration academic proposal and a business proposal. So the
yeah,
context for academic proposal is to a specific kind of audience. So that one will be different from a business proposal, because for a business proposal it's towards um, um, for a specific kind of people. So when writing a proposal, the audience has to be taken into consideration.
yes,
And also and also we are looking we learned I learned content writing forms, some forms of content writing. Example, media article, blog piece, social media writing, and as well as proposal. And with regards to proposal, throughout your presentation, you made us understand that a proposal could mean a plan or a suggestion, especially a formal or written one put forward for consideration by others. That this is my little submission, that this is a little thing that I'm able to learn um, during this section. Thank you very much, sir.
yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope that was very useful for other learners as well. A very good recap of the entire issues covered in the session, very briefly and succinctly as well. Okay, other participants, would you like to share your learning or maybe some questions that we might quickly want to discuss? Or a little bit of confusion as we move ahead, that also could be shared.
And hello, sir. Hello.
Others, please share.
Please, I would like to ask for I'd like to ask a question.
Yeah, yeah, sure, Emmanuel. I think if you can drop it in the chat box also, I can see now. So can you please write your question there so that I can take other participants'
Just to
uh,
participate.
reflections.
Uh,
Thank you. Yes, sure, sure. Please write your question in the chat. Uh, what happened to our other participants? Have we become very lethargic? Is this session going on a very boring note? Or is it getting interesting? Are you anticipating some exciting things ahead? Please share. That's very important. Sharing is very important.
No, sir, it is interesting. We are waiting for tomorrow to get some knowledge about content writing.
Yeah, we'll get more knowledge. Like today also, we should have a basic knowledge because we have exposed some discussion questions and so many people have shared their views, and I have again summarized. Yes. So it would be
Uh,
better like if you also could share all the participants. Maybe if you are having some confusions, that's also very important because confusions ultimately lead to clarity. So unless and until you have confusions, you would not learn. So maybe some confusions are emerging. You can share. Please feel free. Feel free to share because ultimately you should be able to accomplish the objective of the training. So instead of me like spelling out names, I can see some names there, but it would be better if some of you would share. Yeah,
Sir,
did you write your question, Emmanuel, there?
yeah, sir. Emmanuel have a question.
Yeah,
So,
what's that?
sir,
I cannot see that in my chat. Okay.
sir, I'll read it for you.
Yeah, okay.
Sir,
Can you send us a sample of each of the
yeah, yeah.
forms of content writing? Yeah, we'll do this. By the end of the training, I'll give you a sample of the major forms of writing, like what a media op-ed looks like, and what a blog post looks like, a very good blog post. Yes, I'll definitely do this. Okay, Emmanuel.
on
Stay
this.
tuned for that. Yeah.
Oh, very, very respected it.
Okay, if you would not like to share any more things, then I think we can wrap up for today.
So, yeah, sure, sir. I hope there is no queries regarding our session.
Mhm.
So let me wrap up.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, sure.
Yeah. So thank you, Kusal sir. Today we get a chance to know about what really is content and what really is about proposal, and we also understand about the firms, about about the different types of firms, and we also had a chance to interact with each other, and we get to know what we expect from your session. And it was such a great session with you, sir. Also, we are in depth and would like to appreciate Kushal sir for the acceptance of the invitation to be our mentor in such a short time. Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful gesture. If you have any word and would like to share through this partial mode, I offer you the platform, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm really glad that I have been able to get connected with you. Particularly, as I said, like I love working with students because I myself I am also a faculty, so I'm taking classes on a more independent mode in some colleges here in Nepal as well. So my passion is more into grooming, young minds. Since I have writing as my core skill, so I would like to transfer that skill and help you, evolve uh, and um, as a good writer. And also, like in the long term, we might be able to create a passionate writing community of, young students, not only nationally but even regionally and internationally, because some international students are also joining. So that would be very exciting. And I'm really looking forward to this session. And I expect very interactive and critical, very critical discussion. I expect because we need to be very critical, as I said, what being critical is, not just being complacent to whatever being offered. What type of things are coming in your mind? You need to like share that in the training duration itself, and in that way, you also make an training specific individuals because all of you may not be interested in same type of writing. So try to, be reflective and try to gain much out of this training. So if you would become more specific in terms of your writing need, then this will help you more. So I'm looking forward to help you all. So from tomorrow, we'll do this at 4 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful word. I would like to thank our tech partner Tech 101, media partner Live Mandu, and creative partner Fulpa Digital and EU5 series for their continuous support to highlight the Hall Prize at Quish International College. Thank you so much to all the participants and members for their active and interactive participation. Looking forward to seeing your next session tomorrow with a very inspiring and remaining parts of our content and proposal writing session. With this, I would like to close today's session. See you all tomorrow with same enthusiasm that we had today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a
everyone.
good
Have a great
evening.
time.
Have a good evening. Have a great time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you,
same
everyone.
to you, Prof.
I think we should stop recording.